In 2018, the US government suspended all imports of tobacco from Malawi over child labor allegations. The ban affected the tobacco industry in the country, with stakeholders expressing worry over the situation. Tama Farmers Trust Chief Executive Officer Nixon Lita says since the ban, the trust has been engaging stakeholders to eliminate child labor in the sector.
Firstly, we have engaged farmers. They should know what is happening. And when we say we don't want child labor in tobacco production, they should know why. So that's a question of sensitization now.
While stakeholders continue to engage each other in order to eliminate child labor in the country's most lucrative industry, it seems there is less or no attention to addressing the long-standing forms of child labor in the livestock sector. Driving along the roads of the country, it is evident that the sector too needs to do something to free up children that are employed to look after the livestock. Although they would have wished to join their peers in school, these children are driven into this form of labor by poverty, which remains a major issue for many Malawians across the country. Many of these children, due to their parents' inability to find proper means, work for immediate household survival. This is the case of 11-year-old Geoffrey from Jadza village in traditional authority Jadza, whose real name we have not disclosed to protect his identity. He tells this reporter that he roams around the grasslands in his area, herding cattle and goats for something as little as 8,000 kwacha a month. Of this amount, 7,500 kwacha goes straight to his mother, while he only retains 500 kwacha to cater for his needs. John, again not his real name, is another example of neglected child labor in livestock. From Nasala village in Senior Chief Malili, the 15-year-old is working as a goat herder in order to fend for his family.
I received 30,000 kwacha per annum. I couldn't find money for exams, so I dropped out of school.
At 9 years of age, Michael is also in the same predicament as he is now looking after cows for 35,000 kwacha per annum. He is going to receive his salary next year and will never attend school this academic calendar.
I
head cows for 8,000 kwacha per month. This is not my home village. I come from Sabangu.
The cases of John, Michael and Geoffrey are examples of many underage children who are involved in livestock herding, and no one seems interested in their situation. Of course, addressing child labor in livestock is difficult for the fact that much of the child labor in this sector takes place as an unpaid family labor without formal contracts. Nonetheless, child labor can result in extreme bodily and mental harm and even death. Eve Crowley, Food and Agriculture Organization Deputy Director for Gender, Equity and Rural Employment, explains some of the risks faced by children working with livestock.
Are risks associated with the transmission of disease, of animal diseases to children, either through the proximity to animals or to animal products like milk. There are risks of injury from being trampled or from puncture wounds.
The International Conference on Child Labor in Agriculture, organized by Global March Against Child Labor in 2015, also recognized the need to tackle child labor in various neglected subsectors of agriculture, specifically livestock, where less attention has been paid in addressing the malpractice. We engaged a child rights activist, Amos Chibwana, to appreciate what he thinks has been done in addressing the vice.
We are not doing much. If you look at when we're doing issues to do with child labor, little is being paid towards these children who are herding animals. Mostly those that are in farms.
When we engaged Senior Chief Chads of Lilongwe, he admitted to have child labor cases, but was quick to reveal that he has instituted bylaws that guide traditional leaders in keeping children in school. He, however, added that Cyclone Anna affected many schools in the area, forcing a number of children to drop out.
Our bylaw on school-going children is facing challenges, because many schools were affected by heavy winds and cannot accommodate more students.
We visited one of the schools affected by Cyclone Anna, and the headmaster seemed to confirm that the damaged school blocks have contributed to children's dropping out of school.
The learners now, they are not coming in large numbers. Some of them, their school drop out.
While other kids are busy here in classes, learning and studying, a stone throw away from Chaza Primary School, some kids are busy taking care of animals. Director of Animal Health and Livestock in the Ministry of Agriculture, Patrick Chukungwa, acknowledged existence of children involvement in livestock value chain. However, he emphatically condemns the malpractice.
From our sector, our belief is that I think anybody who is going to be dealing in livestock production should be of a mature age at least from a start. Because why we advocate for that, one, we look at the nature of work involved.
Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Gender and Social Welfare, Roslyn Makumula, says the law is clear in terms of child protection. She says the law mandates the law enforcers to arrest negligent parents.
We don't want our children up to the age of 18 to engage in any sort of work, paid work.
Child labor at a young age creates problems for children in the future with respect to health, denial of education, impacts on personality, creating poor image of the country, and contributes to the increase in juvenile delinquency. It is therefore clear that the country needs to pay attention to child labor, not just in its generality, but into the sector specific child labor, which currently does look untouched and remains a danger to children's future. Thomas Ipiata, MBC Lilongwe.